Hey guys, so as promised, I'm going to do a book review of The Reader by Bernhard Schlink. I'm going to read the little blurb on the back, and then I will get to talking about the actual book. I'm just warning you right now, this video will contain spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I'll try not to give too much away, but if you don't want to hear it, I suggest that you don't watch this video because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Okay, so hailed for its coiled eroticism and the moral claims it makes upon the reader, this mesmerizing novel is a story of love and secrets, horror and compassion unfolding against the haunted landscape of post-war Germany. When he falls ill on his way home from school, 15-year-old Michael Berg is rescued by Hannah, a woman twice his age. In time, she becomes his lover. She enthralls him with her passion, but puzzles him with her odd silences. Then she inexplicably disappears. When Michael next sees her, he is a young law student, and Hannah is on trial for a hideous crime. But as he watches her refuse to defend herself, Michael gradually realizes that his former lover may be guarding a secret she considers more shameful than murder. Okay, so this book was recently made into a movie a couple years ago. Kate Winslet was in it. I don't remember who played Michael, but Kate Winslet played Hannah, and she won an Oscar for it. So I really want to see the movie, but I told myself I have to read the book before I see the movie, because the book, seeing the movie before you read the book always spoils the book in my mind's eye. That's how I feel. Okay, I'm just warning you guys, sometimes when I do book reviews, I get kind of lost. My train of thought just kind of goes woo, and so if I pause awkwardly, that's why. But I'll do my best to keep this relevant and flowing fluidly. Okay, so The Reader, Bernhard Schlink. Michael Berg is 15 when he gets hepatitis. He is walking home from school one day and he vomits. And Hannah, I'm gonna call her Hannah, is a woman. She's an older woman. She's at least 30. She's twice his age, more than twice his age, probably. But she finds him, she takes him to her apartment, she cleans him up, lets him rest a bit, and sends him on his way home. Not too long after, Michael visits her apartment again to thank her. This segues into a into a love affair that they begin having. And Michael falls madly in love with this woman, even though she is much, much older than him. But they begin, seeing each other constantly, and they kind of fall into this pattern. They'll shower together, they'll make love, and Michael will then read to her. Hannah insists every time that Michael reads to her. So their relationship is different, not only because, of course, the fact that Hannah, I don't know, is so much older than him, but also, that this habit they get into Michael, specifically Michael reading to Hannah and not Hannah reading to Michael, that sort of makes it unique. There's also the fact that Hannah is somewhat verbally abusive to him, and not overly abusive, but whenever anything goes wrong, she convinces Michael into feeling like it's his fault. And then one time when they go camping, Hannah hits him, but once again, he feels like it's his fault. That's resolved. However, you kind of feel like, well, why is she not taking any blame for this? So I don't remember exactly when Michael learns this, but I think it's, and this is where I'm gonna probably give away something. There's gonna be some spoilers, so watch out. Hannah disappears one day, and Michael doesn't see her for several more years. He becomes a law student, and he begins working on a case that is involved with several former female Nazi officers who are being tried for war crimes. And Hannah is one of the women who's being tried. She's the youngest one, so, you know, of course, they're all, like, blaming her, you know, oh, well, she, you know, would be the one who would be the most harsh with they were in charge of a group of women at a concentration camp, and, you know, the other women who are on trial are saying, oh, you know, she has the majority of the guilt, you know, she was the worst, she was always the harshest with the women. However, Michael, you know, begins to realize that while she's very guilty, of course, all of these women are very guilty, she's not, I guess, she is just as guilty as the others are. The others are just as guilty as she is. And he realizes that Hannah is illiterate. She can't read, she can't write, and this is why she never read. You know, he was always the one reading to her. And he learns during the trial that Hannah would take female prisoners, and she would, you know, for about a month or so, she would have them read to her. She'd give them a little better treatment, but then she'd send them off to be killed. And Michael realizes, you know, well, this is, I mean, of course she didn't send him off to be killed, but he became one of these people who would read to her, hence the name The Reader, because he is the reader. So he realizes that, you know, she can't be guilty for every single, you know, the other women played a part in this as well, more than they're saying. However, they're incriminating Hannah because they don't want to have a serious of a punishment. However, Hannah refuses to defend herself because she doesn't want to tell anyone that she's illiterate. She never tells Michael, she never tells the judge, she never tells anybody. However, she's embarrassed. She doesn't want to tell anybody. So she basically lets herself, you know, I guess, it's hard to say this because, you know, already she's committed such a horrible crime. I guess she, you know, doesn't stand up for herself when it's appropriate for her to stand up for herself, is what you could say. So she gets incarcerated. She's incarcerated. And Michael, you know, kind of during the trial, he goes through this inner conflict. He's like, should I tell someone that she's illiterate? Should I not? He talks to his father, and his father says, you know, no, don't tell anyone. I believe he doesn't tell anyone. I don't remember. I know that's an important detail, but I don't remember. So Michael gets married, but he never really is able to love anyone after the trial. He's never really able to love anyone as much as he loved Hannah. So he gets divorced, and when Hannah has about 18 years left of her prison sentence, Michael begins recording cassettes of him reading books, and he sends them to her in jail. So basically, you know, he reads the same books that he did when they were together, when he was younger, but then he starts to read any book, you know, anything that he can get his hands on, and he sends these cassettes to Hannah, and she begins to send him back little tiny letters. You know, she begins to learn to read, she begins to learn to write, and it's later revealed that she would do this through the cassettes that Michael was sending her. She'd get the books, and she would follow along in the book. And I know I'm giving away a lot of spoilers right now. I'll try not to do that for future videos, but I'll put a big thing on the title that says, spoilers, warning. So eventually Michael is invited to visit her in jail, and he visits her, and he learns that she is going to get out. He sets up a house for her, or an apartment for her. However, then something happens at the end, and I'm not going to tell you guys what. I'll save that one last detail, and I know you're probably thinking, like, you've given away the whole book. You're not going to give us away that little detail? I know. But, so yeah, by the end of the book, you know, when you finish, you're thinking, oh my god, you know, they've been through all this, and then you expect her, you know, something to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and, basically, you know, you kind of think like, oh my god, they went through so much, what was it for, you know, so what was it for? So overall, I'm giving this book a 10 out of 10 on the writing and a 10 out of 10 on the plot. The writing was amazing. It was written perfectly. I didn't find anything wrong with it at all. It kept you, you know, and the writing and the plot together just kept you completely on edge. You wanted to know what happened next, especially with the trial. And, you know, you're rooting, I guess, but you are rooting for Michael. And I guess somewhat Hana by the end, because it's like you realize that, you know, she should have had somebody, you know, had Michael said or had she said that she was illiterate, it would have been different. However, that detail is never revealed. So that's basically it for this book. You know, there's no major violent conflict that occurs, but it's very, very good. And I would recommend this book to anyone. So yeah, that's basically it for this book review. I was able to kind of not do too many awkward pauses, I hope, and say so many times. I know I say a lot. There, I just did it again. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this book. If you guys have any questions, once again, feel free to comment below, PM me, anything of the sort. And yeah, so sorry for all the spoilers and everything. I know that was kind of a lot of information about this book. I'll try to keep them short and sweet and to the point next time. And look for this on my blog and my Twitter as well. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.